Hey guys, Mike Builds, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be testing this Maxpeedingrods 12 volt 100 amp hour lithium iron phosphate battery. So if you guys don't know, Maxpeedingrods actually makes a lot of car parts. They make a ton of car parts, so it's kind of funny to see that they came out with their own battery. I'm very excited to test this to see what the quality of this battery is going to be like. So this is a pretty standard mini size 12 volt 100 amp hour battery, very similar to a lot of the other batteries we've already tested on the channel. What I am curious about is the build quality of this battery and what we're actually getting for the price tag. And this thing comes in at a price of about $150, so it makes it a pretty good budget option. It's not the cheapest battery and it's definitely not the most expensive. Now they rate this thing at 100 amps continuous discharge, 100 amps continuous charging, 4,000 charge and discharge cycles. And that's really it. It's a pretty simple battery. So let's start testing this thing. Now also included in the package are your standard M8 terminal bolts. I have our Maxpeedingrods 100 amp hour battery fully recharged. We have it connected to the SunGold Power 3000 watt 12 volt low frequency pure sine wave inverter. We're going to test this thing at 0.2C, which is going to be 20 amps. I have our current shunt meter reset here. Everything is zeroed out. The total amp hours is going to be displayed right here, and that's going to give us our final capacity number once the test's finished. And there we go. We have our load applied about 21 amps. That capacity test just finished up. The battery has just shut off, so I'm going to connect a charger to it so it can power back on the shunt and see how much we got. We got 104 amp hours, 104.18. That's really good. It pulled a little bit over its rated capacity. All right, guys, kind of the next test I want to run with this Maxpeedingrods 100 amp hour batteries. I want to try to see if I can start my Mazda Miata with it. Now this Miata has been sitting for a long time, so the battery is completely dead. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing connected to it with a set of jumper cables that I made, just to see if I can jump start the car. Now this is 100% not made to do this, so it's not really a fair test. If it can't do it, it's not like I expect it to do it, but if it can do it, that'd be pretty cool. I'm gonna attempt to start the car. So as you guys can see, it doesn't do anything, it's completely dead. So I'll pop the trunk. And the reason why I think it'll work on a Miata at least is because this thing has a 1.6 liter engine. It's very, very small. So if it can start a car, this should be one of the cars it could start. This will also be a good test to see if the high current disconnect works, because if it does, it'll probably trip right away. But if it doesn't, it might just let it crank. I still am gonna connect this to an inverter again and do a full high current test. I need to get this car moved, and I thought this would be kind of a fun test. And I do get a lot of questions from people asking if these batteries can crank vehicles. Normally they can't, but let's just see what happens. Negative, positive. All right, let's see what happens. Oh yeah, it's cranking really strong. I think the fuel pump might be bad in this car, so it might take me a little bit of cranking to get it to start. So I'm gonna keep trying to crank it. All right, so it's actually doing a surprisingly good job of cranking it. Nothing's getting hot. So I'm gonna let the car sit for a little while. I'm gonna try to figure out this fuel pump issue and see if we can get this thing jumped off. But so far it's working amazing. And what's really cool is because this battery is so small, it'd be very easy to make a small portable jump pack to be able to jump vehicles off with. Now, once again, I do have to state, this is not made for this, but it's actually working pretty good. So our Maxpeedingrods battery did really good cranking the Miata. Unfortunately, the Miata didn't start, but that's because of a separate issue that's not gonna be in this video, that I'll probably end up covering in another video. But anyways, it's pretty cool that this thing was able to start or crank a car. In this test, I have it hooked back up to the SunGold Power 3000 watt pure sine wave inverter. I wanna see if we can pull over 200 amps out of the battery and whether the battery is gonna shut down or not. So I'm gonna plug a couple space heaters into this thing and just see what happens. I have our same current shunt connected, so this is gonna show us exactly how much current we're using. So I'm gonna plug in this 1000 watt battery charger just to kind of get it started. And then I'm also gonna plug in the space heater. With just the battery charger connected, we're pulling 1170 watts, 91 amps. Now we're gonna turn the space heater on low. And remember, they only rate this battery to 100 amps continuous, so we're already pushing it pretty hard at over 150 amps. All right, now I'm gonna crank the space heater all the way up to full. We're at over 230 amps, 2,800 watts of power. Looks like I can max this thing out at about 248 amps. That's really about as much as my rig can put on this battery. The voltage is below 12 volts, but it's holding steady, and it doesn't look like the battery is gonna cut off. So it does not appear that the high current protection will kick on. That's pretty crazy, we're pulling that much power out of just one 100 amp hour battery. That's the reason this chemistry is so awesome. Next, we're gonna tear this battery open and see how this thing is built. What's interesting about this battery is it actually uses screws to bolt the lid on. So I'm curious if they use screws and glue, or if I'm just gonna pop these screws out and the cover is gonna come right off, which will make it very easy to get into this thing. Also, after that really high amp test, there is a little bit of heat right here, so I'm gonna assume the BMS is probably mounted right here. Okay, that's nice. The cover came off very easily. So the lid comes right off, too easy. There is a gasket in here that creates a seal when the lid is bolted down. It's pretty cool that they bolt this thing together. It is a more expensive process versus gluing, so you don't really see it that often. Directly on top here, we have our 100 amp BMS. This is a JBD branded BMS, so that is good to see because those are pretty good, and we have seen them in a lot of other packs. We have bolted style terminals. There's no soldering. So far, everything we can see from this angle looks pretty good. I want to be able to see what kind of cells they use, and they did a really good job securing the actual battery into the case, and I'm not able to get it out. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the case open right here. This case material is very strong. It's also very thick. We have the nice style humped bus bars. The spot welds look pretty good. The BMS wiring is bolted, no soldering there. The balance harness is kind of just ran right here and taped up, and then it plugs into the BMS right here. As far as cell compression, they're using plastic shipping straps, so you can kind of see it here. So that's how they're able to compress the cells, and then they do put these plastic guards on the corner just to prevent the cells from getting dented on the corners. Pretty common. We've seen that on a lot of other battery builds. There is a temp sensor right here. I kind of want to see if it has low temp cutoff, and I'm also going to scan the QR code on these cells, but they do look like a type of cell we've seen many times in many different batteries. Here's the info from the QR code on those cells. They're great power brand cells. 100 amp hours. They were made in August of 2025, so they're not super old. And that's really it. There's not much more to see. The build quality is about on par from what we've seen, and I don't see anything that sticks out as being an issue per se. It all looks pretty standard. They did use a lot of foam, so there's no movement of the cells, because I have seen some batteries where the cells start to fit kind of loose in the case, and that can damage them. There's also no foam at the bottom that I can see. There's more than likely a double-sided sticky strip they use to adhere the battery to the bottom of the case. That's why we couldn't get the battery out of the case. So be careful slamming this thing on the ground. I wouldn't be dropping it or doing anything crazy like that. From the BMS to the battery and then to the main negative terminal, we have two 8-gauge wires. And our positive terminal, we have a single, looks like maybe a 6-gauge. Yeah, well, it says 5-gauge, so I guess a 5-gauge wire. I did go ahead and submerge the temperature sensor in some frozen water. This has ice, salt, and water, so I can get it very cold. And I've had it sitting in here now for about a minute with the charger connected, and it does not seem to be disconnecting. All right, guys, that's gonna wrap up testing the Maxpeedingrods 100 amp hour 12 volt lithium iron phosphate battery. Overall, this thing passed all the tests that we threw at it, except the high current cutoff, which is very common on budget batteries. That's just how it is. Just always run a fuse and you shouldn't have any issues. Now, what I will say these batteries are good for, the ones that don't have the high current cutoff that seems to work, is for golf carts or trolling motors where you're gonna push the battery a little harder on a surge. I would not recommend continuously running this over 100 amps. You will probably melt something doing that. If you need something that's gonna be able to handle some surge, like a golf cart when you take off is gonna have a huge spike, but generally speaking, it's gonna kind of smoothen out as you get up to speed. These batteries work really good for that, at least in my experience they do. Because if you do have one of these that has a sensitive high current protection, it's gonna trip right away and it's gonna shut the golf cart down. So that's really it. Let me know what you guys think about this battery from Maxpeedingrods, and it'll be interesting to see if they continue to come out with more batteries, if they maybe grow the line out a little bit, because as of the making of this video, this is pretty much the only battery they have. So that's it. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one.